Joining me now from our bureau in Washington, D.C., president of Americans for Limited Government and co-author of the new book, Necessary Noise: How Donald Trump Inflames the Culture War and Why This is Good for America, Richard Manning. I guess it's a situation, Richard, right now where careful what you ask for if you're the Democrats and Nancy Pelosi. Careful what you ask for, which is impeachment. And the radical wing of the Democrat Party, the real radical wing of the Democrat Party, driving this folly, this attack on the United States Constitution and the impeachment clauses contained within the United States Constitution. Careful, because it appears as though this could be blowing up in their faces, and it could explain, Richard, why Nancy Pelosi in particular, recent news conferences, she's been very irritable. Now, it could be a whole host of other reasons why she's irritable, but it could explain one reason why she's been very irritable when you have members of the mainstream media asking legitimate but tough questions about the process, etc., of impeachment, and going back to when she originally said, hey, we're not going to do impeachment unless it's bipartisan, and clearly it's not. So maybe, just maybe, things aren't going so well behind the scenes for the Democrats in impeachment.
I think there's no doubt Nancy Pelosi and Adam Schiff drove the Democrat car off the cliff, and now they're desperately trying to figure out how to get out of the car before it hits the rocks at the bottom of the cliff. So we're looking at a Democratic Party that is floundering. They believe that just saying orange man bad and he's unethical was enough to impeach a president. The American people looked at the evidence and they've said, wait a second, you don't have any firsthand evidence that anything was done wrong. And secondly, who says we shouldn't get something in return for our foreign aid? Exactly. And so what you have right here is effectively an impeachment in search of a crime, and the American people take their government too seriously to allow that to occur.
Now, I don't like to make news out of polling, but I know that when we talk about the polling, Nancy Pelosi is watching it very, very closely. She's watching the national polling on impeachment, yes, but she's also looking at the swing state polling, and Donald Trump tweeted about this. In the Emerson College poll, impeachment among independents, 49% opposed, 34% support. So he says you can see why Pelosi is reluctant to go in with this. Democrats have to go home and explain why they haven't done something on opioid crisis, drug prices, USMCA, the border, etc. He also goes on to say that the polls nationally have turned very strongly against impeachment, especially in swing states, 75 to 25%, 75% opposing, and the president says, thank you for that. This is why, Richard, I have been arguing since day one, since they've been talking about impeachment, that there may never be a full vote on impeachment. If these numbers are accurate, and if these numbers hold, I don't believe Nancy Pelosi can bring a full vote on impeachment, because this will be them blowing up in their face.
Well, they don't have the votes. I think that's pretty clear. And that's why they're floating the idea of censuring the president on the House floor, which would then not require it going to the Senate, and saying, but we're keeping an eye on the president, and if impeachable charges come up, we're going to move forward. But that's what they've basically backtracked to, a censure kind of trial balloon to see if they can make that fly. Truth of the matter is, the Democrats overreached. They've been trying to impeach this president since the day he was inaugurated, and the American people are tired of it. They want this Congress to get back to work. They look at problems that exist. They know that USMCA is sitting there waiting to be passed, and we see Nancy Pelosi playing games with impeachment rather than doing the business of the people. They're sick and tired of it, and they want the Democrats to get to the real work that they were hired to do.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.